This video is going to focus around the burden of proof. Last time I had somebody come into my stream chat to say that Elon Musk didn't need to provide proof because whatever Musk says they will believe automatically, unless there is proof to disprove it. This was really telling to me. Excuse me, when was the last time we just assumed allegations were true without evidence? I fear that we live in the post-truth America, where the excuse of corruption can excuse the lack of proof, and corruption itself can also excuse the lack of proof. This was the main theme of this video in particular. As always, as a reminder, at the end of the video I explain why I make these videos, answering questions many viewers commonly ask. Thank you.
And then that there were no controls over that NGO. So they've given billions of dollars, in fact, we estimate tens of billions of dollars, to NGOs that are essentially scams.
Man. Why do you think not a single person's been held accountable for this yet? Probably because it takes a lot longer to figure out who did it wrong. That's the reason why. Where's the proof, though? That's a great question. Yeah, and you're right. Like, they need to start, if they want to get people's trust, they need to start posting receipts. They need to start, like, you know, get a YouTuber to make a fucking video to explain how this is happening.
I want to challenge Asmongold viewers to this. Name one single example of actual fraud that Doge has found. Give me what happened and who did it and why. Then finally, tell me where to find the evidence for it, and the top to bottom sequence of events it took to resolve it. The reason this is a near impossible task is because this has never existed. Asmongold recognizes this and criticizes Elon Musk for not providing much receipts. When I go to the Doge website and look at the forms, these filled out forms do actually show what funds are being cut and who it affects. However, it doesn't show me why it needed cutting, nor does it show the reasoning why. There's nothing here for me to analyze in the first place. It's like a persuasive essay, but it's only the last paragraph, the conclusion. If anybody would like to tell me how this form works and how to trace it back to figure out specific cases, I'm all ears.
Yes.
You're auditing the fiscal mechanism.
He's lying? You think he's lying? I don't. I actually don't. I think that it's actually corrupt. I do. I think they're fucking roaches, man. I do. I watch, like, listen, there was like that one woman that was like basically kicked out of the Democratic committee because she was a fraud. Hillary Clinton hires her the next day. Bernie Sanders gets froze out of 2 fucking primaries. Let's see, what else besides that? Hunter Biden is driving around playing Grand Theft Auto in real life. He gets a blanket pardon for 10 years. Guys, I think that's corrupt. I do. They're all corrupt. Yeah, and Trump isn't? I didn't say Trump isn't corrupt. When did I ever say that? I never said that. No, I'm sure Trump has done bad things as well. Absolutely.
To make sure.
Has Asmongold ever named one instance of Trump corruption before? I'm serious about this, actually. The reason I ask this question is because he clearly consumes media that shows instances of Democrat corruption. However, while he explores this in detail, I personally haven't seen Asmongold explore things such as Trump wanting to build his buildings in Russia, even though he's trying to negotiate a deal between Ukraine and Russia. Asmongold hasn't explored how Tesla's safety violations are most likely going to be shut down, because Elon Musk has been invited to be Trump's right-hand man. I mean, do we care about people dying because not enough safety violations are done on Tesla cars? Asmongold hasn't explored how Trump literally tried to rig the election himself, where people were actually charged for fabricating fake legal documents. When one side presents issues of corruption but ignores the other, I don't think we are looking at a more objective view of the situation, but a more biased, selective view where you can just hand wave and go, yeah, duh, of course Trump does corruption, and ended there as a thought-terminating line. Once again, I understand that Asmongold's streams are casual, but his audience is massive and he rarely does Google searches, and the average amount of research he does is browsing his Twitter feed and asking Grok to do the Googling for him.
But there's no turning back, you're saying?
Nope. No, you're locked in. You're
I'm
locked
just here
in.
trying to make government more efficient, eliminate waste and fraud, And so far, we're making good progress, actually. So our savings at this point exceed $4 billion a day. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty significant.
You think you'll wind up getting to $1 trillion?
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
Savings?
I mean, unless we're stopped, we will get to $1 trillion of savings.
And that stuff.
So when do we get the money? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, because I feel like, does anyone believe what Elon's doing? I think that, so I think there's definitely a degree of bullshittery. Like, of course, right? There's going to be a degree of bullshittery, definitely. But I think that the fundamental goal of this is a good goal. I think it's a good goal. No evidence yet? You realize that they have a website full of evidence, right? Like, yeah. Now, I understand it's not an infographic video. But, you know, I don't know what you want me to say. The website is bad? Well, then that's a different thing.
Cutting down government waste isn't a fundamentally new idea. In 1982, Ronald Reagan tried to do exactly this. The team behind this estimated around $424 billion would be saved over the course of 3 years. However, in the end, Reagan would only save a third of this amount. Furthermore, reducing federal employee retirement benefits and modifying contractor salaries could only do so much because the primary issue will always be policy. If there are no significant law changes passed through the government, then this so-called waste would come back eventually after you are gone. I'm beginning to see the same pattern for Elon Musk. Asmongold trusts that Elon Musk would save $1 trillion eventually. But are we even going to save most of that? And if so, who knows how much infrastructural damage is done to the system once he's done? Are laws going to be passed to keep spending low and efficient? How does the American public even know if there's no evidence and it's just hopes and promises? Government is a cycle of ambition and hindsight. After Musk leaves, how do you know that in order to fix what he's done, it will actually cost more money than what Elon saved? Even though proof is not provided of Elon's cuts, there is already plenty of proof of the damage he has left behind. Let's now talk about the website. They have big numbers, talk about which agencies are most efficient, and the aforementioned forums. There are claims of saving money, but with no proof and laid out use cases. There are stats about various government agencies, but no data about the agency's waste. The regulations tab shows the rules to laws ratio, but it doesn't explain what rules and which laws. Is the rule no drinking and eating in the office? Or is the rule more important and sounds like it should have been passed through Congress? What's especially hilarious is the word count of each department. What is this even supposed to tell me? Everyone wants to cut down on government spending and waste, but nobody ever thinks about why it's there in the first place. A lack of understanding and transparency permeates Elon's actions. And unfortunately, when Asmongold says there is proof laid out there on the Doge website, he's just simply incorrect.
The Democrats are trying to import voters, basically.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and that's also why there's no voter ID needed. In fact, in California and New York State, you're not allowed to show voter ID. Mm-hmm. That's a
What? Why would you do that? Doesn't even make any sense. It's the dumbest fucking thing I could even imagine. Where does that come from?
Doesn't that seem insane?
Insane.
Yeah.
I'd say that as a New Yorker. It's insane.
Yeah, insane.
And it violates
It tells you something? It's
the
interesting.
entire Constitution.
Asmongold either reacted in a sarcastic way because he knows what Elon said is too ridiculous to be true, or he reacted in an incredulous way because he thinks what Elon is saying is too ridiculous to make up. Either way is bad, and this can be done by just a simple Google search. If you go to the official California state website for it, it says that if you register to vote, if you don't provide your driver's license, California ID number, or social security, you still need to show some form of identification. I know that personally when I registered to vote by mail, I had to submit a bunch of personal information, which I assume that they have to check against the system. Furthermore, Elon Musk is already wrong here. He says that you're not allowed to show voter ID at the polls. What? In what world does this make sense? And where can I find the proof for that? It says that a California voter is not required to show identification to a polling place worker before casting a ballot. The reason for this is probably because if the ballot is false, then it won't count as a vote anyway. For New York City, it says that if you do not provide your driver's license number or social security number, you can include a copy of any of the following documentation, which, by the way, still in a way counts as voter ID with a registration application. It even explicitly says that registered voters do not need to show ID to vote, not that they are not allowed to bring voter ID. This is all misinformation that Asmongold is spreading to his massive audience without challenging it on his stream. By using the excuse that he's just a casual streamer and he isn't some political commentator, he is able to get away with showing blatantly incorrect information. This is exactly why I cover him in the first place. Misinformation is absolutely rampant throughout social media, and it doesn't help that one of the largest streamers in the world is one of the fastest disseminators of it. Worst of all, I have a sneaking suspicion he's aware of it but simply does not care. As always, that's it for this video. And again, I'm not some leftist retard who wants to cry and moan about Asmongold because he doesn't respect somebody's pronouns. The issue that I always have is the information he's disseminating to his audience and the opinions he forms based off of falsehoods. Most people in my comments are Asmongold fans who are there to express their criticism and hate for my videos. However, I have also seen a fair share of Asmongold fans and former fans who have agreed that Asmongold's recent turn to politics have been disappointing to say the least. And it's not because there are some SJWs, but because he simply does not do his due diligence given his size, or some other valid reason. Anyway, that's about it, and all my sources are linked in the description below. Thanks for watching. Obligatory statement. This segment plays at the end of every Asmongold video. Asmongold is one of the largest streamers in the world. Regardless of the nature and mood of his streams, it is important that he has the best information and the truth at his side. First and foremost, I enjoy making these videos and doing the work. This statement serves to answer some very commonly asked questions, especially from Asmongold viewers.
Asmongold's streams are not serious political content. Why make these videos treating it like that?
The nature of the streams doesn't matter to me. If I see takes I disagree with, especially given his audience size, I feel justified in making these videos.
Why not make videos on somebody else like Hassan?
Hassan deserves criticism, but he is already very well criticized by many other YouTubers. Asmongold has a larger audience, but not the proportional amount of pushback.
Does the negativity not bother you? Is making these videos worth it due to the amount of negative comments you receive?
It does bother me, but the work is mysterious and important. In other words, I still enjoy making content about it regardless.
Asmongold doesn't care about you, and will never notice you again. Why even try?
Admittedly, though a massive side benefit when he does. The goal of these videos are never to get a reaction from him directly. If you want to give me fair feedback, feel free to DM me on Discord at handle Foodshops, join my Discord server, or email me. Thank you.